What's going on, y'all? It's Pop, and I just wanted to introduce y'all to my YouTube channel. Um, on here, I'll be making some NBA videos, some NFL videos, mostly Lakers and Eagles videos. I do like a lot of other sports, but Lakers and Eagles are what are going to be my main focus on this channel. Um, Yeah, so if you're a Lakers fan, if you're an Eagles fan, it's the perfect channel for you. I'm a very real fan. I'll say that right now. I'm a very real fan. I'm not delusional. I'm not none of that. I will tell it exactly how it is. So that's what I think is good about me. But today I'll be talking about the Lakers free agency and how they've done so far. They've been pretty active in my opinion, but I really think we got better, and I'll explain what I like, what I don't like, things like that. So the first thing I want to talk about is one of our undrafted free agent signings. As a championship team, you're not really usually active in the draft. Only if you have that luxury, but we didn't have that luxury, and I'll explain why later. But one of my favorite undrafted free agent pickups for us was Kavon Harris. Kavon Harris is a shooting guard from St. Francis, Austin, and I think he's a pretty good pickup for us. He almost reminds me of kind of like a KCP. He shoots a high percentage from the field. He's a pretty good defender. Um, I will say that he needs to work a little bit on his defense, but he has a nose for the basket. Like he really likes to score, and I think he'll be a nice combo guard for us. I don't know exactly what his role will be, but I like his potential. I like his potential a lot. I feel like he has a nice little ceiling. Not saying he's going to be an all-star or a superstar or anything, but I do like where he can get to. I feel like he can be a nice little rotation player for us in the long run. And me, I'm very heavy on the future. It doesn't matter if you win a championship or not. You should always be focused on the future, right? And right now, I feel like the Lakers aren't really headed in that direction right now, but it's understandable because we are the best team in the league. We are the favorites to repeat. So when you have that luxury, you shouldn't really be too focused on the future. You should be focused on right now. But that's something I am worried about is our future. Like we have a lot of aging players. We're signing a lot of 1-2 year deals. You know, LeBron has almost 2 or 3 years left on his deal, and you know, while AD is still not 30 yet, we still have Taylor Horton Tucker. You know, Alex Caruso, Kyle Kuzma. Those guys, I just don't feel like they're too focused on the future. We're focused on right now. I don't want to push the future till later because the future can be very important. Because I really don't want to go through another one of those 5-10 years where we're struggling to make the playoffs and we're bottom of the table team and our starting lineup consists of Robert Sacre and Wayne Ellington and Wesley Johnson. I don't want to go back to those years, so I feel like we should really focus on our future, but understandably we're not. I'm not too mad at Rob Pelinka for just focusing on right now, trying to get a championship right now, trying to get the best out of LeBron, right? So there's that. Next, I'm going to talk about our departures to free agency. So first, I want to talk about Avery Bradley. I believe he was the biggest loss of this free agency so far. He was really, really important for us when we signed him from the Grizzlies. He had that really good game against the Clippers where he just could not miss. And he was really good for us leading up to the playoffs. And then, when the league went on lockdown and then they came up with the whole bubble situation, he has a kid at home and he didn't want to leave his kid. I kind of understand it, but at the same time, I feel like he was never locked in with the Lakers because, we have people on our team like Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso skipped his sister's wedding to go to the bubble, but we have people like Avery Bradley who didn't even go. That's no knock on Avery Bradley. I understand family is over everything, and I understand that. I totally understand that. But I feel as though if he was really locked in and he really wanted this championship, he would have went to the bubble. That's just my opinion. But that was our biggest loss. I was really looking forward to re-signing him to see what he can do for us in a full season. But things just don't always pan out how you want them to. Next, our next departure is Dwight Howard. Now, from what I heard, we did Dwight Howard dirty. He had that tweet where he tweeted it and then deleted it about staying with the purple and gold and things like that. So there was some stuff behind the scenes. I'm not sure if we really tried our hardest to re-sign him or not, but it was a little bit of a hurt loss. Dwight Howard was a really good bench piece for us, one of the best backup centers in the league, if not the best. Now, I think we had the best center rotation in the league with AD, JaVale, and Dwight Howard. Now, if we would have had DeMarcus Cousins on those four rotating at the center position, that would have been just amazing. But, DeMarcus got hurt and everything. But, yeah, Dwight Howard was probably the best backup center in the league, and when he came in, he did his job. Like, his second stint with the Lakers, everybody was, like, tossing Dwight Howard around the league, saying he's washed up, he's not good anymore, but he really came here and he got a chance to prove himself that he could still play. Now, he's not the Magic Dwight Howard anymore, but he proved himself that he could still play, and he was really good for us, grabbing rebounds, finishing oops, playing good defense, just doing Dwight Howard things. Now, our third departure due to free agency was Rajon Rondo. Now, I'm not exactly sure why he left, but to me, it looked like there was a little bit of bad blood. He posted that he was leaving even before he signed a contract. He didn't even sign with the Hawks before he said thank you to the Lakers and saying that he was leaving. So I think there was a little bit of bad blood right there with that departure. But, things go how they go. He signed a $15 million contract. Do I think he's worth $15 million? Absolutely not. But, he had to go get his money. He got his second ring, first player to win with the Lakers and Celtics, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, I don't think he's worth $15 million. I wish him the best on the Hawks, but, yeah, so that was our departure. Now we're going to talk about trades. So the first trade I'm going to talk about is the JaVale McGee trade. I really like JaVale McGee as a player. He always brought heart to the Lakers, and he was always a great player for us. Like JaVale McGee was never on the floor, and I never said, oh, he's not playing with heart. He's not putting in the effort. Like that's what I love about JaVale McGee. He's always gonna give you 100%. He's not a shooter. He's not a crazy skilled offensive genius, but he's going to do his job. He's going to get down there in the paint, and he's going to get you blocks. He's going to finish those oops. He's going to give you those opportunities to just throw it up, and JaVale's there, and he's just going to slam it down. So I really like JaVale McGee, and especially in our offense, we like to run. LeBron really likes people he can pass the ball to, so JaVale McGee was one of those pieces where he would just throw it up and JaVale McGee would slam it down. But in return, we got Jordan Bell and Alfonso McKinney. We traded JaVale and a future second round pick for Jordan Bell and Alfonso McKinney. Now, I really like that trade. We were freeing up space for Marc Gasol, which I'm going to talk about later. But I really like that trade. I think Alfonso McKinney and Jordan Bell can be two nice bench pieces for us in the long run. Now, I don't know, again, what their role is going to be. I haven't done too much research. But if Rob Pelinka does decide to keep them off the bench, like a nice little 8th, 9th, 10th man type thing, then that'll be great because we need that. We need depth. We cannot go back to back without depth. And that's exactly what Jordan Bell and Alfonso McKinney are. Now, let's talk about who did come in, right? So, the big trade, in my opinion, or the big, entrance, whatever you want to call it, to the Lakers, was Dennis Schroeder. Now, I really like Dennis Schroeder a lot. Now, will he come off the bench? Will he start? That's my question. But I'm pretty sure he should start. Right? He was a six man over there in OKC, but that's because he was behind Chris Paul and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Right? No disrespect to Dennis Schroeder, but he's not Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Chris Paul. So that's understandable why he was a six man over there, but I 100% think he should start here, and I think he will be a great addition to LeBron's Lakers. You know, he can go out there and he can get you a bucket, and he's also not very ball dominant. You know, so he's gonna get you a bucket no matter if he has the ball in his hands or not, and he's always gonna make the right pass. He's a great playmaker. You know, really did well over there in OKC. And they played against Houston and lost in 7 games, obviously, but he had 29 points in Game 3, right? And he had 30 in Game 4. Who wouldn't want that on a championship team? We just added that to a championship team. That series, he averaged 17 points, almost 4 boards, and almost 4 assists. You know, when you add that type of piece to a championship team, that's just like there's no denying that that's a great pickup. You know, especially like last year where when LeBron wasn't on the floor, we struggled to get a bucket in the half court. I think Dennis Schroeder is gonna fix that. Like, he's great. He's great, like, pick and roll, and like I said, he just has a nose for the basket, and he knows when to do everything. Like, he's a point guard, right? So I think that was our best move, right? Next, we have a little bit of a controversial one. We have Montrezl Harrell. I did not see this coming at all, right? I mean, many Lakers fans last year, I'm pretty sure, hated Montrezl. Like, you know, Montrezl is one of those players where when he's on the other team, you don't like him. Why? Because he has a motor. He has that energy. He's always talking, you know. He's always doing something. But he does the dirty work is what I'm trying to say. And like we need those type of guys, right? So he's a very good rebounder, you know, very good paint offense, you know, laying the ball up, dunking it. He's a body, you know. I'm not gonna say he's a great defender, but he can definitely defend. You know, his athleticism really helps him defending, right? And we signed him to a nice contract. We signed the reigning sixth man of the year. We signed him to basically $9 million a year. I think that's a bargain. I think that's a great deal. You know, Rob Pelinka at its finest, right? So apparently the same situation with Dwight Howard happened over there. You know, the Clippers didn't really want him back. I guess they thought they would have to pay him too much. So like he said, he made a business decision and he came to the other side. He came to the winning side of LA, right? So I think that was a great pickup by Rob Pelinka. Did I see that coming at all? No, I didn't. Next, we have Wes Matthews. Now, Wes Matthews, that was just another great pickup. I really think Rob Pelinka did really good this free agency. Like, I definitely give this free agency an A so far. I don't know if we're going to trade Kyle Kuzma yet. I don't know, like, you know, the speculation in between there. So, but so far I give this free agency an A for sure. Wes Matthews, you know, 3-and-D, you know, played great on the Bucks. He's just a shooter. He can really shoot it. Everyone knows Wesley Matthews is just a great shooter, right? And he knows his role. He knows his role. He knows he's the shooter. He knows he has to put in effort on defense, right? And I think he's a great person to pair along with LeBron, right? And then the most recent signing is Marc Gasol. Now, we had to do a little bit of maneuvering to bring Marc Gasol onto the team, but I think he'd be a great starting center, right? You know, everywhere on Twitter, everyone's like, oh, Marc Gasol's washed up, ha ha ha, oh my gosh, how much help does LeBron need? Oh, he sucks, Marc Gasol sucks, he's washed. right? But I think he's a serviceable starting center, right? Marc Gasol is a veteran. He has playoff experience. He has a ring, right? Like when he was on those Grizzlies teams, they went to the playoffs so many years. He played against the Spurs for so many years, right? He has that playoff experience and he's a veteran, right? So what I like about Marc Gasol is his basketball IQ, right? So players like Marc Gasol aren't the most athletic, right? He's not gonna give you the crazy JaVale McGee or Dwight Howard dunks, and he's not gonna do things like that. But what he is gonna do is make the right play, right? When you're a player like Marc Gasol, which I can compare him to Jokic because it's like the same thing. Like they're not very athletic, so they have to be skilled. They have to be skilled and they have to have high basketball IQ, and that's one thing I can say about Marc Gasol. He has high basketball IQ, and when you pair somebody with high basketball IQ with LeBron, that's just amazing, right? So I think he'll be a great starting center for us, and I think he'll do great things for us. So, I didn't talk about Markieff. We brought back Markieff. Great, like I love Markieff. He's the better Morris brother, in my opinion. I know that might be a little controversy, but seeing what Marcus did last season, going off last season, Markieff is the better Morris brother to me, and I think that was a great decision for us to bring him back because he had a lot of interest from other teams, right? Because just because of his skill set, like he can shoot it, he can rebound, he can defend. He's a great role player, so he had a lot of interest from other teams, right? I think we did a great job bringing him back on a minimum deal, right? I'm not sure how much money we have left or how active we will be in free agency. Just seeming as though like Kyle Kuzma, he's asking for the max, not the max. Whoa, not asking for the max, but he's asking for a big extension. And has he played like he deserves it? Absolutely not. But teams, I've seen that teams are high on Kyle Kuzma. They think he has a ceiling. They think he has a lot of potential. He can really be something in this league. So I believe his trade value will be high, right? So, who knows where we go there, right? I still want DeMar DeRozan as a Lakers fan. I want DeMar DeRozan a lot. I feel as though DeMar DeRozan and Dennis Schroeder in the backcourt is just going to be great for us, right? So, yeah, so I think that about wraps it up for the first week or so. Free agency, not really a week, more like 4 days, 5 days. But I think the Lakers, I would definitely give the Lakers an A. We somehow were a championship team and somehow got better without losing too much, right? Obviously, I did say we lost Avery Bradley, which is our starting guard, right? Great piece. We lost. I think that is our biggest loss, right? People like Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee can be replaced, in my opinion, right? Just centers that, do center things like rebound and dunk and play defense. What I will miss about JaVale and Dwight is definitely their energy, right? They had great energy, and that's what you look for in a player, and especially in a center, right? You look for energy, right? And another loss I didn't talk about that I really don't want to talk about is Danny Green, right? We gave up Danny Green in that Dennis Schroeder trade, right? But I mean, who really cares? Danny Green, while he did do good in the regular season, people forget that he was on a $15 million deal. Someone who shoots terrible in the playoffs and lost his 3 and D in the playoffs should not be making $15 million a year, right? I don't care what he did in the regular season. What he did in the playoffs is just unexcusable. I wish him the best. I wish him the best in Philly, right? I wish him the best on the Sixers. I think he'll fit well over there, but on the Lakers, that was just his playoff performance was just horrendous, and I don't think that he's worth $15 million a year. I'm glad we got him out of here. We even got Dennis Schroeder out of it, so I think that was a great deal by Rob Pelinka. So, yeah, so I give us an A. right? We got better. We got better in almost every aspect. We lost a little bit of defense with Dwight, JaVale, and Avery. But we got playmaking back with Dennis Schroeder, right? We upgraded our playmaking, right? And then we got Montrez. He's going to be a monster on the boards. Wesley Matthews, an elite, well, maybe not elite, but a great shooter. And Marc Gasol, who's just a great NBA player, right? So I have high expectations. Obviously, coming up this upcoming season, you don't come off a championship and have low expectations. So I think we'll have a great season. We'll see what else Rob Pelinka does this free agency. But so far, great. I have no complaints. The only thing I will say is sign Alex Caruso. I know every Lakers fan wants to sign Alex Caruso. Oh, one contract I forgot about, KCP. So KCP, great player. He did great for us in the playoffs. Most underrated player on the Lakers by far. He's the most underrated. So we did sign him to a 3-year, $40 million deal. What do I have to say about this? More than $10 million a year for KCP. Feels like another one of those Danny Green contracts. But I love KCP. I love that we brought him back. Honestly, I really do. He's been on the team for a couple years now. While he has had his moments where it's like, whoa, come on, KCP, like, what are you doing? Right? He's a great player. He's a great player to fit on this team. Like, that's what we're looking for when we're on this team. We're looking for fit, right? So I think a great job bringing him back. Is he a little overpaid? Just a little bit, right? But whatever we had to do to bring him back, that's just what we had to do. I trust in Rob Pelinka. I really do. After Magic left, like, everyone was like, "Oh, is Rob Pelinka gonna be able to do? Like, is he gonna be able to, like, keep the team together?" And look what he's done. He's won us a championship. So I think we've done a great job this free agency, right? Rob Pelinka, one of the best GMs in the league, right? And I think we are the favorites for a back-to-back, right? You have the Nets over there in the East, with Kyrie and KD. They got Karis LeVert, DeAndre Jordan, Jared Allen, all those guys. But obviously they're the favorite in the East. We're the favorite in the West, right? And I have total confidence in us beating them, right? LeBron doesn't have a great experience going up against KD in the finals, although he did beat him in 2012. I think we are the clear favorites to repeat. So I think that's it for the video, guys. If you stuck here through the end, I did a lot of rambling, but if you stuck here through the end, I thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll leave my Twitter, my Instagram in the description if you want to interact with me. But yeah, it's your boy Pop, and I'm signing off.